But yeah, so anyway, so I smoked some crack in this lady's bathroom. DMT. Hanging in the Crystal Palace with my elves, my guy. Where are we going with this one? I would do it all over again and do the exact same thing. I ended up being on opium for like 6 years. Called the 3 C's, baby. Corosine, cough, and cold. We were so cool. God, mescaline changed my fucking life, dude. When they were first coming out, you could be like, oh, you know, you just taste test a tiny bit. You'd have a guinea pig. Usually it'd be me. I didn't give a fuck. Meth, really fucking good, my guy. Alright, today we got the drug tier list, starting out with marijuana. Dude, flagship sunshine, what? Come on now, marijuana, you can smoke, it's one of the only drugs you can do every fucking day, when like 80% of people have almost no side effects, and it just alleviates life problems, man. Like, to take the stress out your life, smoke some goddamn weed. I think most people should smoke weed, to be honest. I'm gonna smoke weed for the rest of my life, guaranteed. Yeah, I value being comfortable. Life is like a long-ass car ride, man, like a long-ass roller coaster. You're locked in this bitch whether you like it or not. One thing I know about long-ass car rides is better focus on being comfortable, man, because you're gonna get uncomfortable. Alright, moving on. Yeah, weed. Come on now. Everybody loves weed. Caffeine, one of my personal favorites. Ooh, is that on the same tier as weed though? It does have negative side effects. You can, that's why I'm bouncing back and forth right now. From the fucking caffeine mostly. Thank you, G Fuel. Naruto, Sage Mode. Yeah, I still would say A tier, just because of the fact that it can't be S tier. Because I've had so many caffeine headaches and like fucking up your sleep schedule and having just adverse effects in your life. It's really good. I like nicotine a lot. I kind of want to go back to smoking cigarettes. I think vaping sucks, especially these little guys are like the fucking worst. These are a lot like less cool, and that's saying something because these are super not cool, but come on now, man. Vaping, if I see a girl that vapes, I'm like, oh man, I thought she was cute. I know a girl thinks the same thing when she sees me vaping. It's not attractive, dude. And cigarettes are even less attractive. I really like nicotine. It's a refreshing buzz, man. Everything is enhanced by nicotine, and it never sends you over the top. You know what I mean? You're drinking a little bit of nicotine, bro. You're doing some shrooms, a little bit of smoking a cigarette. Come on now. Got here, this must be kratom. Kratom, I fucking love kratom. I would put that up there with weed, bro. Kratom has been a net positive in thousands of people's lives. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people's lives. What fucking personally got me off of opium. I was addicted to opium for a long time. Kratom fucking saved my life, dude. It was the only thing that would turn that little switch in my brain that was like, hey, you need this, lock the fuck in, this is what you need. It would just switch that to kratom, and that's why the fucking government, FDA, and everybody's trying to shut that shit down. And we got ecstasy, the only drug on this entire list that I have not personally consumed myself. Kind of love to try it at this point in my life. I'm a lot less scared of falling into addiction hole with it, and I know it's one of those things where it only like burns up what's in your brain and you can't really like take it back to back to back and get the same effect. But I would just, I don't know, I've always been scared of it. When I was in like middle school, one of my chick friends like took some ecstasy and was laid up in a bed for 2 weeks, and like she could barely talk and shit. It's always just scared the shit out of me. So I'm gonna put it in this. If I hear somebody's doing ecstasy, I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it should be in its own tier for I can't really speak on it. I don't know. Meth, really fucking good, my guy. Everybody is prescribed Adderall. What? Come on now. Adderall, Ritalin, meth itself. Come on now. That shit's fucking phenomenal. The best, most classic upper of all time. Almost every other upper pales in comparison to meth. It's a great experience. I don't recommend that you smoke it. I don't recommend that you... If I ever consume meth, I'm gonna eat it. I haven't even seen meth in fucking years, but... My one funny story with meth, I was painting a firehouse one time. I was actually working for a crackhead that was my neighbor. Back when I was going to college. And I was doing the painting, and I was in this firehouse. The only other guy in the whole building was the electrician. We were both there from midnight till 8 in the morning. I come around the corner to take my break into the common area, and he's in there breaking up lines. I'm like, oh, hey, man, you know, do your thing. He was like, oh, fuck, man, come on over, take a line. I was like, oh, we're doing lines now. Okay, Betty. So I come over, I do half the line up one nostril, and I'm like, oh my god, this shit burns like a motherfucker. I've never had coke like this. I do the fucking other line up the other nostril, and I say something to the guy. I'm like, bro, yo, this coke, man, I've never had coke like this. Like, what's going on? He was like, oh yeah, no, that's terrible coke, buddy. But that's some great meth. I was like, oh shit. I just did meth for the first time. And yeah, dude, I was supposed to... I ended up losing my job that night. I was supposed to like get all these rooms done and just kind of bang it out because there's like this fire hall that somebody's just turning around to sell it to somebody that was gonna fix it up and do something with it. So it didn't matter how it was painted; it just had to look painted. You know what I mean? I spent the next like 6 hours just painting the floor of one room, getting in every single crack with a brush. It was fucking terrible. And that was my neighbor too. I still had to see him every day. That shit was rough. And immediately at 8 o'clock I got out of work. At 8:30 I had a math test. What do we got here? Looks like cocaine. Yeah, you know, I'm just not a fan of cocaine. I would not be happy to hear that my friend was selling it. Especially doing it. Like, if you do cocaine here and there, that's cool, whatever. I really wouldn't judge you if you were doing it like once or twice, but if I know that you're doing cocaine all the time, I'm straight up not going to be around you. I do not think that shit is cool. Oh yeah, there's been a bunch of times where I thought I was doing cocaine at a party or at somewhere, and then it just turns out it was another drug because I just don't ask any questions. You know, fucking goblin, if I see a line and somebody is like, points at me, when I notice the line, they're like, huh? You? I'm like, yes, me. Yes, me. I'm on my little fucking merry way to go try that shit out. Because I'm a goblin. Let's see. We have shrooms. Oh my god. You can't... No, I don't. These, even though you can't do them all the time, and it's not something... You don't want to be the weird shroom guy. Trust me, no matter how cool you think it is, you're... You know what I mean? You're 18... You're the guy that's always got the shrooms and you're doing them with everybody all the time, and you really don't want to be that guy. All right. I was always friends with that guy and hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I was this close to being that guy is what I'm trying to say, and I'm glad I wasn't, because I know people that were that guy. You can't do any hallucinogen constantly, man, because then you're tripping. You know what I'm saying? If you're tripping all the time, you're fucking tripping, man. Come on now. LSD. Ooh, man, yeah, buddy. LSD. Bro, the experiences I've had on LSD, dude, the fucking... just mind expand, like, perspectives. Just to be able to view things from a perspective of, like, a collective consciousness. Like, not from my singular little selfish... human brain, but from just like the perspective of the group, even like in a small sense, or like the perspective of a community, or even like the perspective of a place. I fucking love acid for that. It just gets you out of your stupid little shell. You know what I mean? That's a fucking beautiful thing. Not to mention visuals are fucking banger, buddy. Let's actually, once we get mescaline on the board, because mescaline is also going motherfucking S tier. Peyote, mescaline, whatever form you get it in. As long as you're getting that active ingredient, baby. I've actually never had the cactus, the little buttons. Never, not once. But I would love to. I would still love to. I'm old now. I don't really trip like I used to. I would be all about some motherfucking All about some motherfucking peyote, man. Acid, I feel like you can't trust it nowadays. There's so many research chemicals. There's so many bang bang boat, like 2CI, 2CB, like random ass shit. You just can't. And it's tasteless too. That like 5-10 years ago, back when the chemicals were first coming out, all these research chems, RCs as they're known. When they were first coming out, you could be like, oh, you know, you just taste test a tiny bit. You would have a guinea pig. Usually it'd be me. I didn't give a fuck. And I would just like taste test a little bit and I'd be like, oh yeah, no bro, that's clean acid for sure. You could be like, oh no, it tastes like metal. Mescaline, oh my god, mescaline changed my fucking life, dude. Talking about perspective, this is the fucking god perspective right here. This is outside of all space and time with the mescaline. Holy shit, I fucking love it, dude. I think I've tripped on mescaline like 5 times. Each time it was crystal and alcohol. Like dropped onto sugar cube. That shit was fucking amazing, man. The first time I tripped, I took, so it was like 2 hits or 2 drops out of the blotter to trip hard. And I took 7, so we can call that like 3.5 hits. That shit was crazy. I had tentacles. I was feeling all over and feeling everything with my fucking tentacles, man. Oh, like I remember just touching the corner of the room with my tentacle, like the physical sensation, feeling it with my tentacle. I remember like looking at like a telephone pole, a light pole, and just like seeing everything that it was connected to, and then just like everything just like exponentially zooming out. That shit was nuts. Or like just looking at a Mountain Dew bottle and just like thinking about the factory and the like years of alchemy that had to happen in order to generate plastic. Like all the history of everything, just like in one glance of looking at this. Like it wasn't even a conscious thought. It's just like as I'm scanning across, I happen to notice the Mountain Dew bottle for like a fraction of a second, and just all that shit just floods into your mind, and then like, you're onto the the reptilian brain. That shit is so nuts, man. Fucking love mescaline. Highly recommend if you can find it. I would only at this point, if you can't find it natural, you really can't trust it, man. You really got to know somebody that knows somebody, or kind of shit out of luck, man. The future's wild. We got so much of this fentanyl bullshit. Robitussin. I would say that's our first D tier. Don't be a piece of shit, my guy. What the fuck are you drinking Robitussin for? Even if you have, I've seen straight DXM pills. If you go to like EDM type situations, big concerts, they got them, shit like that. But yeah, you don't need to be doing that. You don't need to be at all, man. I've done it a lot. Right after I say that, I have done it a lot. But I'll tell one Robitussin story. I was a freshman in high school. I was off like a whole box of Coricidin cough and colds, like 24 pills. Called the 3 C's, baby. Coricidin, cough and cold. We were so cool. So off the Coricidin, I'm walking down the hallway to class, and I have the sensation that I'm on the ceiling. And I'm like physically worried and have anxiety about like falling up, because everything just feels like completely fucking inverted. Because I'm on like the 3rd plateau of highness. I'm like fully hallucinating at this point off of DXM. I get into my classroom and I'm sitting in my chair for about 15 seconds, slide onto the floor. Class starts, I'm still on the floor. 10 minutes into class, I'm still on the floor. My teacher says, "Mr. Smith, what are you doing on the floor?" I said, "Hey man, you know, you're like my favorite teacher, bro." You know, I always thought that you were super cool, man. I think I cussed a couple times because he said, "Ricky, I could kick you out of school just for obviously being on drugs, let alone the fact that you're cussing at a teacher right now. So I think it'd be best if you just walked home." That was before I had a car. And so I just fucking walked 3.5 miles home in the sun, slapping my fucking feet on the ground. I would have to say opium is really good, actually. So I couldn't walk for like 2 years. My leg was so fucked up. I was in crazy physical pain. I couldn't sleep. My quality of life was like 0. I mean, all I could do was watch anime in a bed. You know what I mean? And most of the time I wasn't even in a bed. I didn't have a house and a room. I was on somebody's couch for years. Well, I was on somebody's couch for a year, and then a friend of mine was kind enough to take me in. I was fortunate enough for him to do that. And I had an actual bed to sleep on, thank God. Sleeping on his older brother's old bed. Man, opium. Only thing I could afford, man, and that shit saved my life, improved my quality of life like crazy. It let me sleep, it let me do rehab. I taught myself to walk on opium. I would do it all over again and do the exact same thing. I ended up being on opium for like 6 years, like 5 years, 5.5. And so that was a lot longer than I really needed to be, because I ended up getting addicted to it. But nonetheless, that shit turned my life around. I was so fucked. Dark times, man. DMT, hanging in the Crystal Palace with my elves, my guy. Where are we going with this one? Oh, I would say really good. You can't put it really up. I don't know. Maybe you can. Yeah, you can. I don't know. DMT, I'd say it's kind of a little overhyped. I feel like in the zeitgeist, the public consciousness, the DMT would be like triple S tier. It's like how you speak directly with God and shit, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little overrated. It's just as good as acid for sure. I felt mentally naked, if that makes sense. Like, you know the feeling of being naked around a lover for the first time? It felt like that, but like mentally and around my friends. Like they could see my embarrassing thoughts, kind of more like, you know what I mean? Or like how my times of weakness, like times I did fucked up things, or if I lied or shit like that. Like the veil was completely down. It felt like God or something came up behind me and like saw me feeling kind of vulnerable like that, put his hand on my shoulder and was just like, hey man, you're doing all right. All things considered, man, you are doing all right. Don't even worry about it. You're like B+. You can chill out a little bit. You're still gonna be just fine. I would say these other three were much more profound in my life. Much more profound. I also I was like, they were a lot more fun. Because DMT, you just smoke it, and then you have like a super intense oh, I gotta add salvia to the list. You just rush the fuck up there to the stratosphere, and then you're just like, it's kind of disorienting. You know what I mean? And you just get crazy fucking high, and you're like, okay, now I'm here. And then it's like chill for like 10 minutes. And it just kind of turns off, you know what I mean? You just rock it, fall back to the ground. Not that the come down is uncomfortable or anything, but I don't know. I'd much rather like a smoother, more enjoyable experience. Yeah, I don't like the dissociative qualities. I don't like any dissociative drugs. I actually changed this order right here. Speaking of dissociatives, we got salvia. Salvia's fucking trash, man. Don't smoke salvia. The only good way to smoke salvia is I used to have a good friends with a Mexican dude, and his family grew salvia. His mother did, and she would harvest the salvia, soak it in alcohol in like a big ass glass casserole dish, and then remove the leaves and let it dry out in the sun. One 420 party, he brought one of those dried out casserole dishes to me, to my party, and we would scrape out on every bit of weed that we smoked that 420. We put like a little drop of scrape of that fucking salvia gum on it, and that was awesome. That was not disassociating at all. That was the most smoothest. It felt like everybody's fucking minds melded into it. Like At one point, one guy was going around the group and was telling everybody about their past lives, and he was one of my friends that didn't know the whole other circle of everybody else, and I had just brought him. Everybody like really liked him, and he was like, he just started standing up in front of the group, being like, I feel like when you were younger, your dad and you might have had some kind of, and just started like describing people's past lives to them. It was the craziest thing. We called it fishing. We called it mind fishing, because he was like going into their lives and pulling shit out. I don't know. It was pretty cool. But yeah, salvia in general, to smoke it, garbage. Nothing like taking one hit of some drugs and then being like, oh, okay, now I see into the carpet, and there's a universe where I am selling umbrellas and also piñatas, and they are 3 different colors, and the 2D world has become 3D. Yeah, fuck that, dude. I was locked into literally what I just described. This like 2D flat realm, but like you could see from the outside it was 3D, but when you were living through it, it was like 2D, and there was only the plane that existed. It was so disorienting. I did not fuck with it at all. Zany bars, the footballs. What do we got for Xannies? Don't be a piece of shit and do Xanax, my guy. People that I know do Xanax do shit like black out and slap their girlfriend, black out and slap somebody at their wedding, or black out and drive through the metal fence into the airport, onto the fucking tarmac, onto the fucking runway, just drive and zanned the fuck out. I literally know a guy who did that. You look it up. Bishop International Airport. Young Xand out, man. But yeah, no, don't do Xans, man. I hate to see people do Xans. I got a good friends that did Xans, and we've been trying to talk to him for years, and then he would like show up, nod out, and then drive off. Like, bro, I've been, the whole time you were here, I couldn't even talk to you. I physically could not talk to you the entire time you were here. You would not respond to me the entire time you were here, and you just... I fucking hate Xans, man, for a lot of personal reasons, and it's also not fun to do. Who's having fun doing Xanax? Like, you're just not high, bro. It's not, like, I've done Xanax. You don't feel high. It's not, people are like, oh, it's like you smoked 12 blunts. No, it's not, dude. It's like you took Xanax. Yeah, I don't know. You can tell I'm passionate about that. I hate that shit. Fuck Xanax, man. We got OxyContin. This is a Lil White song right here. We made it to the Little White portion. OxyContin, Xanax bars, Percocets, and Lortabs. Oxycontins. I guess that is different from heroin. It is, and different from poppies. I'll take an oxy. I don't hate you if you do it. If you like, if you pop a little oxy pill once in a while, you pop. I know, you know what I'm saying. You pop a perk from time to time. I find out you have like an actual prescription prescribed to you, I'm not like, oh, that sucks. Like if I was dating a girl and she was like, by the way, because girls, I don't know, it's different when girls are prescribed it, when dudes are prescribed it. When dudes are prescribed it, they can't handle that shit. I'm sorry if that's a little sexist. That might be a hot take, I don't know. But in my experience, okay, I live in a place where everybody does drugs, okay? I've known multiple girls that were in car accidents, whatnot, older, younger, it didn't matter if they're in 20s, 40s, 50s. They're able to manage their painkiller prescriptions very well. From in my experience, like 8 out of 8 were all able to manage it. In contrast that to every single dude I know with a like legitimate narcotic painkiller prescription has abused that shit. And that's just my personal experience. So I guess I am biased. I will take one though. I will take one though. I like them. I haven't done any type of like heroin type, you know, opiates is what they're called. I haven't done any opiates in years now. Actually, some years. I should be proud of that. Go me, because I was addicted to those for a while. Leave a go super solid in the comments. Good job, Ricky, in the comments. Your boy was hooked. It was every day for 6 years, man. Every single day. And moving on to the fentanyl. The Fetty Pack. The Fetty Wap. Man, don't be a fucking piece of shit. Anybody that's ever made $1 off of that shit is going straight to hell, you motherfucker. Who the fuck you think you are making money off of fucking fentanyl, bro? Literally, you could sell crack, man. Sell the crack and let the motherfuckers kill themselves. You selling the fentanyl, you're killing them your goddamn self, you piece of shit. Fuck you, bro. I cannot, that blows my mind that a human being, like, I know it's a survival mentality out there. And it's like, I'm gonna die if I don't do this type shit. But man, there's other options, my guy. You could just murder people for money. It's like, go to New York, it's like 10,000 a head. You go to Chicago, it's like, you know, like 3,000 a head. If you're gonna be murdering people for money, you can murder way less people and make way more money. Fentanyl kills like 80% of everybody that fucking does it. I don't know how. And you're making, I don't know. You're selling out your soul for such small margins, my guy. At least make something off of your fucking soul is what I'm trying to say. At least make $1 off your fucking soul, you piece of shit. And moving on to heroin. Shooty. Yeah, no, don't do heroin. That's a slippery slope. I don't like... yeah, especially if you're... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe... Yeah, just don't be a piece of shit. What am I talking about? Heroin's real bad. Heroin, I've never shot it up. I have snorted several lines of heroin. That was another situation where I thought it was coke. People was just doing... I was at a hotel party and in the bathroom, people doing lines. I'm like, hey, in the bathroom, people doing lines. And people were like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I got down there, fucking whoop, whoop, whoop. And I was like, this is brown. Yeah, that was definitely heroin, but that was a good-ass night. It enhanced the experience, I cannot lie. If you ever have a chance to just do heroin once and you like don't have access to ever doing it again, try it out. That's all I'm trying to say. Just try it one time. Well, just a little. You don't have to do a lot. A little bit of heroin. It's your first time. A little bit's gonna blow your fucking mind. I promise you. You're gonna take it and be like, oh, okay, this is why people are willing to lose their house, their family, their job, everybody that they love, the respect of their fucking peers. It's for this, because this one thing trumps all of that, my guy. It actually just does. I hate to say it, but all of that shit combined, even all at the same time, cannot make you feel like this. It just can't. It can't, it never will. It's just different. So yes, in conclusion, I highly recommend heroin, but only if you don't have access to it. If you have access to a supplier, never try heroin. Because it is, like I said, it is worth all of these things, and you will lose all of these things. Crack. I actually smoked some crack a couple years ago. This girl from my past hit me up, and I knew she kind of fell off into some dark shit just from her pictures that she posts on Facebook and whatnot. It was like, But, you know, she hit me up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I know what it means if you hit me up at 1 o'clock in the morning, so, you know, I was like, where are we at? She let me know where we're at, so I rode out there, and she was like, oh, no, I'm not trying to fuck, you want to smoke this crack with me? I was like, what the fuck? I drove all the way the fuck out here just to, it's like, why'd you make it sound like that? But yeah, so anyway, so I smoked some crack in this lady's bathroom, took like 2 hits and was like, yeah, what am I doing? I'm just gonna go home. What the fuck am I doing? And the last one, alcohol. Probably the hardest to place for me personally. I might just put it on B tier. Because it's really not really good. I cannot call alcohol really good. Is that fucked up if I put alcohol on the same as cocaine? And I mean, it kind of is for me. I feel like it's about as negative. Crack is far more well, actually, I know more people that have died. Damn, that's fucked up. So I would say just due to the fact that so many more people, like this isn't a per capita thing, this is just like personal experience thing. But I know several people that have lost their house to alcohol. I know people that have lost their family to alcohol. I know people that were like good dads became alcoholics and did like some of the most fucked up shit. Like now they can't see their family anymore type shit, you know what I mean? Over alcohol, I don't know anybody that did that over cocaine. I don't know a single father that lost their family over cocaine nor crack. I mean, I know some crackheads, but I don't know any that lost their family over crack. No, I straight up don't, man. Straight up don't. They're still a part of the family. It's like shitty that they're a crackhead, but it's not like the mistakes people make on alcohol, man. People on alcohol, that's different. It's probably because it's so socially acceptable. I don't know what the difference is. And I know people that several people that have died off either straight up overdosing on alcohol poisoning, or just liver failure or cirrhosis of the liver even. Yeah, no, I gotta say alcohol is C tier, my guy. Oh, so in conclusion, this is the drugs most fun to least fun. I think you're cool if you do them too. I judge you harshly. And if you kind of promote these, I kind of think you're a piece of shit. Yeah, let me know what you think. Any of these that you would recommend to your little brother or son or daughter, make sure you leave that in the comments. That you really want your unborn child to try some mescaline, for instance, I would say that would be a good comment.